Alright, just to reiterate what I was talking about, this took a lot of engineering to try to figure out what was wrong with this and why it wasn't moving and all that. You know what I'm saying? Finally got it to a point where it actually moves. I need to turn this off. And let's change the direction. And this is the final result. So right now I'm just gonna I'm gonna pick this up. And this is where I was diagnosing the issue. I did a good portion of this in the test world to try to see what the issue was. You know what I'm saying? And the issue was that it was just too entirely too big. That was the problem. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't that it wasn't forming into a contraption because I was able to still pick it up. I showcased that before. The entire thing, you know what I'm saying? But it just wouldn't move. That was the issue, you know what I'm saying? When I applied power to it and everything else, it just wouldn't move. You know what I'm saying? And now I have it to a point where it actually moves. You know what I'm saying? So in the process of cutting it in half, I had to re-glue this, unglue it, and then re-super glue everything back together. You know what I'm saying? And this is the final result. So I already got a schematic of this entire build. You know what I'm saying? I'm able to still keep all my vaults because I need the actual storage space. You know what I'm saying? For all the blocks and items that I want to print or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So the intention of the schematic is to actually flip it and reverse it. So it makes the other half of this. You know what I'm saying? Down at the bottom, already down here, I still have the other half of the printer still down here. You know what I'm saying? I just split it. You know what I'm saying? Same thing. And when I reverse it, I'm gonna use a schematic Canon. You know what I'm saying? To print up everything else that I need. That's all the volts and all this whole bottom section. So I don't have to physically go down there and do everything. You know what I'm saying? So this is my wrench. We're gonna pick it up, bring it back down here, and try to run this. And this is the mistake that I made before when I was shooting the video. I forgot to take the card assembler out. This is an immovable block or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So you have to take this out. Alright, so we're gonna get on top of it and sit in the seat. We're gonna switch to a remote control, you know what I'm saying? I use this to wire the entire engine up as well as a clutch over here, you know what I'm saying? And clutch reverses the direction, so you're gonna turn it on and you can see it already move, and then we're gonna change the direction. I know we off and going. Now if I switch to free cam, and you can see it printing. So it took a long time to get to this actual point. This is like 2 or 3 days time or whatever, but I actually got here, you know what I'm saying? Also, in preparation for this, I broke all the glass brackets that were down here by the half pipe. I broke all of those all the way down for the entire length of the base. And the other thing that I did as well was did this run out of blocks? What's going on? I gotta put the schematic down for the entire base. That's what it is. All right, so I need to stop this. Anyway, I chunk loaded this entire side, and you can see it's built on the gantry shaft and all of that and everything else. So we need to go down here and reverse the direction, and I have to be close to that to actually trigger it. You know what I'm saying? There's a maximum block length for the remote, and you see it coming back. Very, very, very satisfied, very happy that I got this working. Words don't even describe it because it took a long time to actually get this to work. You know what I'm saying? First, I thought I was gonna have to actually scrap this. You know what I'm saying? But I'm glad I didn't have to do that. You know what I'm saying? The only issue now is it's always some kind of unforeseen issue that pops up. You know what I'm saying? I didn't realize that this will only print this section because this is where I placed the schematic at right here, just this one section. You know what I'm saying? So the only other what's the name is printing this base wide. And now that I think about it, there's an additional mod um for create that allows you to do repeating patterns. You know what I'm saying? And because I don't think I could do it with this essentially. You know what I'm saying? By itself with just vanilla create. You know what I'm saying? Mind you, there's no extra blocks in this. Everything that I'm showcasing is all vanilla create mechanics. So anybody can build this. You know what I'm saying? No extra add-ons. You know what I'm saying? Let's turn it off right now. Yeah, but that's the entire thing working. You see how fast that was, like maybe 2 seconds that it printed up this entire thing or whatever. And all I have to do is just set the schematics. You know what I'm saying? I'm to the point where I really don't want to add extra mods. You know what I'm saying, to the pack and all that. Cause I already modified the pack, not heavily, but it's modified enough. You know what I'm saying? And because that means I have to create a separate instance. And there's a particular issue in Windows 11, which is one of the reasons why I don't like Windows 11, where it causes an issue where you can't copy files with file names that are too long. You know what I'm saying? So you have to manually edit the registry. You know what I'm saying? The registry editor and all that in order to make it work. You know what I'm saying? I might have to do that. You know what I'm saying? In order to copy the files over, because I have to copy specific files over, which I was talking about, the Cube.js files and all that. The defaults back into this pack when I make another instance in order for the Cube.js scripts to not break. You know what I'm saying? It might be another thing, you know. So I waited this long to actually print this up properly. You know what I'm saying? Might just go ahead and do that. You know what I'm saying? And that'll be the instance where I test out the schematic thing I'm talking about with the repeating schematics, repeating patterns or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I'm gonna do that. Might not and whatever. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, for all intents and purposes, it works. You know what I'm saying? Got it to work, works. I really don't want to place a pattern down for the entire base. That's gonna be ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? Pattern in each section. You know what I'm saying? Because that'll require me to let me try something real quick while I'm still here. It's 3-4 this So this is the original pattern right here, right? Let's try to scoot it back. It's not gonna allow me to go from this position. I have to reposition it. Yeah, I have to reposition it. Yeah, cause that's gonna be irritating. That means I have to fly off the machine, stop the machine, pull the machine back in order to reprint. And I just don't really want to do that. The whole reason why I even made the machine was so I don't have to do that. So we're gonna pull it back to here. Make sure this is lined up. This is still fun though, you know what I'm saying? Cause I like doing stuff like this, you know what I'm saying? Seeing how far you can go. And still, you know what I'm saying? Still to the day, the best way I describe this is basically digital Legos. You know what I'm saying? And fun fact or whatever, when I was a kid, you know what I'm saying, in the 80s, you know what I'm saying? Cause yeah, I'm that old and I'm not afraid to say it, you know what I'm saying? Uh, Cause that was a good era. 80s, 90s, late 80s, early 90s, that was a good era. I wanted Lego Technics, and that's the one thing I couldn't get as a kid. You know what I'm saying? was too poor to afford that. I did get a Nintendo and a ColecoVision and all of that. You know what I'm saying? But I never got the Technic sets or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Back in the days, it was well expensive anyway. I doubt any kids really had that. They had regular Legos, but not the Technic sets. You know what I'm saying? The robotics and all that. Never got a chance to actually do it. You know what I'm saying? Kind of forgot about it. Never pursued it in my adult life of trying to actually get it. You know what I'm saying? And now I have something where I can actually do that, and it doesn't really cost me any money except for the cost of the initial game itself. You know what I'm saying? Alright, so let's turn this back on. We're going to change the direction and see if this prints up properly. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. Alright. Yeah, I'm going to have to put the mod in. Because I'm definitely not going to sit here and keep setting up the schematic over and over and over again. So that means I will have to go back and I would have to make a new schematic and put the schematic in all the deployers. You know what I'm saying? And do it that way. Yeah, but still happy. You know what I'm saying? It's a proof of concept. And it worked. You know what I'm saying? It took a lot of engineering, but it worked.